issues affecting families and marriages. Compatibility in marriages, handling issues of third parties, marital health matters. Let's talk about sex in Christian marriages and many more. Don't miss out on this very inspiring program, which will be a blessing to your marriage. Marriage matters. Building a blissful marriage. Shalom. Marriage does not cure lust. If it does, adultery wouldn't exist. Self-control and discipline still remains the best recommendation. Lust does not care of your age or status. Either you are married or single. You can be Daniel in prayer and fasting.
Shalom to the Bride of Christ worldwide. Good evening and welcome to the program Marriage Matters. Building a blissful home only on Bright TV, the timely technology. Today is our special edition where we invite couples to share their experiences with us. I am Sister Ozamaka Jengerald and I'm here with our brother Godson Dereke. God bless you, sir.
Oh, shalom to the Bride of Christ worldwide. Once again, you are welcome to today's program. Shalom.
Yeah, last week he was able to tell us some basic things you need to know concerning courtship. And today he's going to round it off before we invite our guests. So, sir, what do you have for us today? You're rounding off.
I like to still talk about the pointers.
Okay.
The pointers, the things that will let you know whether this courtship is going to succeed or not. Things that will make you understand the direction of the courtship.
Okay.
There are things you see in the courtship, you will know that the marriage is not going to work out. Okay. I call them the pointers.
The pointers.
Please, we need to take these things very serious.
Okay.
Because in most cases, these signs may be on ground, but some of us are unable to see it. Mm-hmm. Like I said last week, if you are in a relationship, in any courtship, and your partner is over-demanding. When I mean over-demanding, I did not say demanding. I said over-demanding.
Okay.
Because we have to stress it and emphasize properly so that we can understand it.
All right.
Yes, your partner can demand, but when it becomes over-demanding in that courtship, brother, sister, you have to look at it again. Because you can't get married to one or someone who demands without, understanding your financial status.
Okay.
So you don't need someone who is over-demanding.
Okay.
Another pointer you must also know while you are in a courtship is, this is some of the things people do. For example, little mistakes.
Okay.
Little mistakes you make,
by the both
he will
couples.
magnify it. Yes. At times is the lady. At times is the man. They magnify it to become a very big problem.
Okay.
And before you know it, their anger, goes out of proportion. Even to the tune where you have to give a gift before he will forgive you. Sister, if you are in such a relationship, please look well.
Okay.
Because why I'm saying look well is, I've seen it severally. The girl had to go to shop for the young man.
Wow.
And at times the man also will shop for the young girl. Just little mistake. It is not as if you were caught with someone else. Maybe somehow he called you and you didn't pick up the phone.
Okay.
And then it becomes a problem. Sister, look at it very well, whether you can manage it if finally you get married. Because why we say these things is, you know, marriage is a vehicle without a reverse gear. Not just only reverse gear, it does not also have brake. Marriage is continuous.
Okay, what you're saying is that whenever there is a mistake, the brother or the sister should be able to forgive and forget.
Yes.
And they move on.
Mistakes are allowed, even in the marriage proper, talk less of at this stage.
Okay.
Because this stage, I call it the learning process.
Yeah.
It's a period you get to understand me, I get to understand you. You get to know some certain things about me, I get to know some certain things about you. One of the reasons is we are not from the same cultural background. We are not from the same family. We grew up differently. The way you do your things in your place may not be the way I do my things. So we are coming together to harmonize all these family values and backgrounds and cultural whatever. So for this reason, you should be able to create rooms for mistakes.
Okay.
You know, you should create room for mistakes. It is not something that will become a problem to the tune where if the lady or the man does not bring gifts to come and beg you.
Okay, so you're saying bringing gifts is not proper.
You cannot use gift to go and beg your husband to be, your wife to be, because you offended him. Or else I will ask, where is the love? Because if gift settles the matter, then love has been shown the way out.
All right.
So that's why we say mistakes will occur. Like for me, I would prefer making excuses for my partner than feeling offended.
Okay.
So that's what we are saying. So sister, if you're in that relationship and you have seen these signs, brother, you have seen these signs, something is wrong with that courtship.
All right.
Something is wrong with that courtship. So it's important for us to, because it's a period of investigation, you are studying one another, you are investigating one another. Another thing, another pointer you must also note is you tell him or her all your secrets.
Okay.
And he has refused to tell you his or her own secrets. Because in a relationship, you are all coming from one story background or the other, one history background or the other, and you come to tell your wife, this is your wife to be, this is who I am, these are some of the things I have done, you know, because in marriage, if you enter a marriage, you must be willing to accept the access and liabilities.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so, and you say this is it so that you don't get surprised when some of these things happen. This is what happened, this is what happened. But your partner has refused to open up. I tell you, if he's not telling you the things about himself, please be careful. Okay. Because I am not sure he wants to enter that marriage relationship with you.
All right.
Because basically, it is a period of shared secrets. See, before I came to meet you, Mr. So-so-so-and-so was my boyfriend before. Sister so-so-so-and-so, we dated for some time. Oh. That time I didn't know God. Oh. Now I have known God. In case I am passing with you, and she say, oh, good afternoon, sir. Permit me to say good afternoon back. Okay. And have it in mind that a relationship existed before. There is nothing wrong about that. Right. So if she's not opening up or he's not opening up, then there is a problem.
Okay.
So these are some of the pointers that I think you should know. It's very important for a courtship relationship. Please permit me to answer one question. Somebody was asking me that is it wise as a Christian to give alcohol or maybe tobacco during payment of marriage dowry?
Okay.
And I want to tell the brother, when it comes to traditional marriage, you are not in charge. Don't go and start trouble with your in-laws.
Okay.
Please, traditional marriage is for your wife people.
That's
You
right.
don't have a say in that matter. If they demand of you alcohol, please give. They demand of you tobacco, please give. You can monetize it. I beg you. Because you are not in charge. You are the one coming to meet them. It's like you enter the shop and somebody said, you are asking how much do you say, the person is saying is so amount. You cannot dictate for the person. So you are not supposed to dictate for your in-laws.
That's right.
You are not supposed to dictate for your in-laws. It is when it comes to white wedding proper. That one you are the one that have the final say. It happened in my white wedding. I did it in one of the eateries. And thank God for the eatery. They don't take alcohol there. And I told them that please reinforce it because no alcohol will be brought to this hall. Maybe if my elder brother is listening to me now, he will recollect dates. He had to move his friends elsewhere for them to go and drink alcohol, but not in that hall because we didn't provide alcohol. I am the one doing the white wedding. So it is in your white wedding that you have all the authority to determine what the people drink or not. So don't go and make trouble with your in-laws, saying because you're a pastor, you are born again. For that reason, you will not, brother, they will not give you that wife. Oh. And if it cause problem in that place, the blessing they are supposed to bless you, they may not have pronounced that blessing properly.
Okay.
So there's a scripture I want you to look at. I think that is in Genesis chapter, is it chapter 34? Genesis chapter 34.
Genesis
Yes.
chapter 34.
Genesis chapter 34 verse 12.
Okay, and it says, Genesis 34:12.
Yes.
Ask me never so much dowry and gifts.
Did you see that? This is the normal process in a traditional wedding. The list can be brought to you. You look at the list and ask them to soft pedal a little. Don't make it too hard for me to pay. So it is a bargain. A transaction is going on. And of course, you know, Jesus Christ transacted for you and I. He paid the transaction. He paid all that is needed in that transaction. So you are going to say, reduce the price a little bit. Go ahead, sister.
And I will give according as ye shall say unto me.
Did you hear what that man said? He said, and I will give according as you have said. So you cannot argue with your in-laws. You can't argue with your in-laws, brother. If they demand, please give.
Yeah.
The Bible says, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and to God what belongs to God. Those people have tradition. Of course, we call it traditional marriage. They have tradition. So you can't come from your home and come and change their traditions.
Change your tradition, exactly.
Please, don't start problem with your in-laws because of something you know you cannot substantiate.
All right, thank you so much, sir. We're going to go on a short break now. We'll return. We continue. Please don't go away.
Marriage does not cure lust. If it does, adultery wouldn't exist. Self-control and discipline still remains the best recommendation. Lust does not care of your age or status. Either you are married or single. You can be Daniel in prayer and fasting. You can be David in praise and worship. You can be Abraham in faith. You can be Joshua in victories of war. Or you can be Solomon in wisdom. If you are not Joseph in discipline, you will end up like Samson at the lapse of Delilah. Shalom to the bride of Christ worldwide. I am Brother Godson Dureke. I will be your host on a program, Marriage Matters, only on Bright TV. Join me as we look at issues affecting families and marriages. Compatibility in marriages. Handling issues of third parties. Marital health matters. Let's talk about sex in Christian marriages and many more. Don't miss out on this very inspiring program, which will be a blessing to your marriage. Marriage matters. Building a blissful marriage. Shalom. Marriage does not cure lust. If it does, adultery wouldn't exist. Self-control and discipline still remains the best recommendation. Lust does not care of your age or status. Either you are married or single. You can be Daniel in prayer and fasting. You can be David in praise and worship. You can be Abraham in faith. You can be Joshua in victories of war. Or you can be Solomon in wisdom. If you are not Joseph in discipline, you will end up like Samson at the lapse of Delilah. Shalom to the bride of Christ worldwide. I am Brother Godson Dureke. I will be your host on a program, Marriage Matters, only on Bride TV. Join me as we look at issues affecting families and marriages. Compatibility in marriages. Handling issues of third parties. Marital health matters. Let's talk about sex in Christian marriages and many more. Don't miss out on this very inspiring program, which will be a blessing to your marriage. Marriage matters. Building a blissful marriage. Shalom. Marriage does not cure lust. If it does, adultery wouldn't exist. Self-control and discipline still remains the best recommendation. Lust does not care of your age or status. Either you are married or single. You can be Daniel in prayer and fasting. You can be David in praise and worship. You can be Abraham in faith. You can be Joshua in victories of war. Or you can be Solomon in wisdom. If you are not Joseph in discipline, you will end up like Samson at the lapse of Delilah. Shalom to the bride of Christ worldwide. I am Brother Godson Dureke. I will be your host on a program, Marriage Matters, only on Bride TV. Join me as we look at issues affecting families and marriages. Compatibility in marriages. Handling issues of third parties. Marital health matters. Let's talk about sex in Christian marriages and many more. Don't miss out on this very inspiring program, which will be a blessing to your marriage. Marriage matters.
Right, so you're welcome back. If you have just joined us, this is Marriage Matters, Building a Blissful Home, and our host has just concluded the topic, the pointers you need to look out for before going into courtship. And he was able to say so many things. And here we have our guests, Mr. and Mrs. Ekanem. God bless you, sir. God bless you, ma. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
All right. They are 11 years in marriage. They are going to share their experiences with us. Don't forget to send in your questions. You can call in, make your suggestions, ask your questions, and our host is here to answer you. So, sir, you're going to tell us how you met your wife. According to our host, he said something in one of the episodes. He said that when at the sight of your wife, there is a feeling that something strikes you. So at the sight of your wife, did you feel same?
Yeah. Shalom to the brides worldwide.
Okay.
About how I met my wife, definitely she was not the one I want to marry.
Okay.
I was already cutting someone I want to marry, but along the line, I discovered that we can't work together.
Okay.
My wife was just coming to Lagos for the first time.
Wow.
And he came to my church for a wedding.
Okay.
Even I was the one conducting the choir.
All right.
I just so happened. I did not know that he wanted to marry. We met. We did not even cut. Just in a space of 1 or 2 months.
Wow.
And we got married.
So when you saw her, something told you that this is my wife?
Yes, something brought her to me. She was looking for a job and they asked her to bring a guarantor.
Okay.
She walked down to me and asked me, please, can you guarantee me?
Wow.
I said, why? I don't know you. Even I don't know her. Then I was the youth president of the church. He said, why? I said, well, after much persuasion, I said, okay, I will take that risk.
Okay.
And that is how we met. And I asked her, I want to marry.
Okay.
He said, okay. And that is how we met.
So how did you know that you both are going to be compatible?
Well, one thing I know, based on the scripture, that who that founded a wife found a good thing. Bible did not say that God will give you a wife. You are the one to find and ask for God's blessing. Okay. I've been praying before then, asking God for a wife and not a woman.
Exactly.
Many people ask for a woman. That's why you make that mistake. To some people say, oh, this is my woman. She is not my woman. A woman is not a wife.
Really?
Yes.
Really, yeah.
There are many women, but they say wife. According to the book of Proverbs, if you look at it in chapter 30, it gives you the details of who a wife is. Someone who can keep a home. Many women cannot keep a home. So that does not qualify them to be a wife. So when we met, I told her, this is what I want. Then we went somewhere. And she refused to collect it. I said, buy her something. She refused to collect it.
Wow.
And the only thing I remember she collected from me was a gala and a drink, and that's that. I said, you can pick anything. He said, no. So I keep on praying, and I went to my pastor and said, see. He said, okay, no problem. And to God be the glory, everything worked as well.
Wow.
And we get married.
So, brother, I was looking forward to hear the other side. You know, there's a question I was putting to you.
Yes.
And that question said, how did you feel? You know, there was this, like me, when I met my wife, there was this electrification that touches me so much. Something connects, you know.
There's a connection.
Very deep connection that I cannot even explain it. Rather than to say, please, you are my wife. So maybe I don't know whether you had such feelings.
I have that feeling.
Yeah.
Because in between that, I was happy there was a problem between me and the person I wanted to marry.
Okay.
Definitely, I was looking for one big lady who is a graduate of this and that. But when I met her, there was one message I received. Your direction is not God's direction.
Exactly.
Wow.
Then I sit down and think about it. What we are looking for may not be what God gives you. So I decided to change my orientation. I went for a counseling. And I asked the man of God, come, this is what I heard. He said, go ahead. I did not discuss this. As I'm talking to you, I never discussed it with her. Then I said, okay. And moreover, I was the only person in my family that married outside my state.
Wow.
All my brothers, my sisters, they married from my state. And I remember that I said that I would not like to marry from my state. So it was on that day I remember that I keep on saying when I was in school, I would not marry my state, anybody from my language.
Yeah.
So when she come up, even when I tell someone, you say, you are going far. I said, don't worry. That is where God directed me to. It's not all about the language. It's all about compatibility.
Exactly.
And that is what moved me. I was so happy about it. Even though I tell her, I did not like to express it. Because sometimes, that was my notion then. When you express your mind too much, how much you love a lady, sometimes they turn out to misbehave. So I decided to keep that to myself. I'm not sure much about that. I did not go with the gift because she wasn't that gift type. So I decided to reserve that kind of gift. But the only thing was I told her about my past. Okay. And she told me her own.
Would you say that you were pretending that you don't love her? You said when you show her too much love, she'll start doing...
Yes, I was not... It was burst of past experience.
Okay.
I decided to keep that. Because the person I wanted to marry, I opened up and showed her, I said, start misbehaving. So I decided not so that will not be going again. So I decided to keep that part. So that was... I did not see it being pretending. After all, when I get married, she knows that I can do anything.
So that is once beating twice shy.
Yes.
Wow. So sister, you know, from the story you have just told us, it seems the Lord packaged you and brought you to Lagos for our brother.
That's right.
So on that fateful day, were you expecting it?
No.
So what really happened?
When I met my husband, seeing him in the church, first of all, I thought he was married, looking at him. So there was a sister in the church then that happens to be my friend as a newcomer. And she told me that, and I asked, I said, this brother, I wanted to join the choir. And so she told me that, that this brother is engaged. So when she told me that, even if I should have something in mind, saying that to me alone, just canceled everything. So I went to him based on a job, just as he have said. So I was not really expecting it. I was not really expecting it.
Okay. So did you feel that thing we are talking about?
It was after when he told me some certain things.
Okay.
So just as he have said, initially he was a very serious person. I don't really...
spiritual.
Yes, don't know. Let me put it this way. Then I used to say you are not romantic.
Yes.
I mean, yes,
spiritual.
The word not romantic. So sometimes when I see all these young people, proposing, I would just remind him. I say, "Come, you are still owing me this proposal. You have to go in your because there was nothing like that. He came to me. He said, I want to marry you. That was just. So he said, I want to marry you, and I look at him. I said, okay. I said, you want to? Is it a boyfriend and girlfriend? Or he said, I want to marry you. And I said, okay, let's watch and see. So that was how it all started. So when we started, I'm looking out for a man. I started seeing some qualities, though he was very strict, but I've started seeing some qualities of truth. That was what brought me close to him. When he said he's going to do this, that is what he would do in terms of, okay, wait for me 5 o'clock. By 5 o'clock, you will see him.
Wow, wow, wow.
So
that's interesting.
When I look at him, I said, this guy is sincere.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be playing some games like, so sometimes when I used to walk not far from his office.
Okay.
So in the afternoon, on especially weekends, he will cook this rice, jollof rice and fresh fish.
Wow.
So all my friends will now be laughing. They will be saying, ah, that mugu is bringing
Food for you.
When it's this afternoon, they will say, no need to buy afternoon food, that mugu is coming. So
Wow.
we all started. So there was a day I remembered that it's like he caught me doing some of these things, and he sat down, and I noticed that he was like shedding tears.
Wow.
So I asked him, why are you crying? He didn't say a word. So I felt what I was doing to him was bad.
Wow.
So I decided to retrieve my steps. So from that moment, I decided to be committed.
Exactly. Wow. So, sir, for the past 11 years, you've been married. Have you had any cause to regret and say, ah, I would have married the first woman?
Not at all.
Okay. Then on this course of 11 years, you've not had any quarrel. Of course, you must have had.
There must be quarrel.
Exactly.
But how do you settle the
Yeah,
quarrel?
how do you handle it?
You see, there's one thing in me. We quarrel, and I settle it there and then.
Do you bring in third parties?
No,
or you settle it
at
on your
all. I
own?
don't like third party.
Okay.
She knows. It makes you come anything third party, even my brothers.
Okay.
I don't bring anybody to it. We settle within ourselves.
Wow.
So I don't like anything third party, because even my father warned me against that.
Mm.
Don't try it. And unfortunately, it was my father that brought us up, because I lost my mother when I was just 5.
Mm.
So my father always warned us, the only way you can live with a woman is for you settle your matter with her. And I never see my father, the little time I met with my mother, bringing in any third party. So I try to avoid that as much as possible. And I always tell her, anything that makes you to report me to your family or to my family, you are in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Don't. We settle it no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
So that is it. Not that we don't quarrel. We do that.
Okay.
So viewers, you can hear him. He doesn't allow third party. You know,
Into his
we
home.
we talked about third party in this program. We say it is not wise for husband and the wife
Exactly.
to have little misunderstanding and then third party come to settle it.
That's right.
It is not wise at all.
Exactly.
It does not demonstrate the love which you profess to your partner.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important for us to know this. Third party is not supposed to be part of the marriage. And of course, you know, on the day you were wedded, it was just you and your wife.
That's
so
right.
where is third party coming from?
Coming from.
Brother, learn to handle matters in your marriage. Sister, don't involve your friends or your families. I said it in this program sometime. A particular marriage had issue, and the woman and the husband went to settle it with a third party. And the third party ended up snatching the man from the wife
Wow.
and finally married the man.
Mm.
So it's important for us to note this. Brother, I love that your theory.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a principle to keep.
Yes.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Yes.
Exactly. You said something, sister, when you were saying something that the first day you saw him, he was that street person. So in this 11 years, how have you been handling his streetness, his spiritually and all that? So how have you been handling it? Is that romantic or?
For the first, let me say, 5 years, it was something else for me.
Okay.
It was not easy. So coming in to meet a man, not just straight in character, but also in domestic chores, he's the kind of person that wants everything to be done, to be kept the way it has been.
Wow.
And when you don't do those things, he will show it to you immediately. So I could remember some time ago that when he comes back from work and I say, welcome, the first thing he will ask me is, did you sweep this house today? He won't answer. He will just ask, did you sweep this house today? And I will say, when I said no, he said, why? For any reason I said yes, he will say, did you mop? When I said no, he will say, why? Go and get mop and mop, even in the evening.
Wow.
So at first I was not finding it easy. Could remember the first quarrel we had was packing clothes on the chairs. I washed and I packed those clothes. So he came back and he met the clothes and he said, what are these clothes doing? You mean you have not? And I was, I'm tired, I'm pregnant, I cannot. He said, no. Is it pregnancy that will be stopping not to pack? Are you pregnant in your hands? I can just pack it and take it to this. Just this little thing, you can't. And he was saying those things to me and I cried and I don't even know what to do. So I went to meet my pastor then to tell him, I said, Daddy, look at what my husband does. So my pastor laughed. He said, you know the kind of man you marry, that he's a kind of very disciplined. So you have to just manage it. So he called my husband and he talked to him. And at the end, they said they still asked me to apologize to him for packing those clothes there. So from that day, I vowed, I said, I will never report my husband to anyone. If at the end of the whole talk, I will still say, okay, honey, I'm sorry for packing those clothes there. So it was not easy, actually.
For the first 5 years.
5 years of marriage.
Wow.
I pack my bag, I pack. Sometimes I will pack it to the gate, sometimes I will pack it. I will just say, short, I decided after my first issue that I will carry the baby and, run away. Because there was nothing, when I mean nothing like being romantic. Nothing like being romantic when I'm, as a pregnant woman, first timer, and I'm having issues and I come to him, I need his attention. The first thing he will ask is, what is it? That is just, what is it? So immediately he asked me that question, what is it? I'll be weak. I will not just tell him anything at that moment. So for that first 5 years, it was not easy until, in short, people were asking me outside, how do you manage him? But I used to tell them one thing. I said, he is not wicked. Because the way people see him, yes, they will say, you are trying, you're managing, you must be suffering. I said, no. I'll be telling them, no, he's not like that, though. He's not like that. Even at that, his attitude, then he will fetch water for me to bathe. Wow. He will drop water. He will make tea before going to office. He will drop it for me. But there was nothing like a relationship, if I should say, a relationship of romance, laughing, and talking like new couples.
That is where communication comes in.
Yes.
So since he's strict, I want to know the romantic name he calls him.
Yes, I call him Sweetheart.
Sweetheart. Brother, from all indication, I know that even a strict man is also romantic.
Exactly.
So, what's the pet name you call your wife?
I call her Mama.
Mama.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. So, but you call her this when you're angry?
That is what I call her when I'm hungry.
When you're angry? Wonderful.
You don't change name.
Wonderful. You know why I say so?
Yes.
My friend's wife, he calls the wife treasure. But when he's angry, he says, Mama Nkechi, come here. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. Brother, for you to call her Mama, I will disagree with her that you're not romantic.
Exactly.
You're a very romantic man.
Exactly. Yes, now romantic.
Exactly. So, sister, I want to ask you this. After that 5 years you mentioned, so how were you able to change this man, to bring him to this level that is now romantic? Or how were you able to cope after that 5 years? What changed the play?
I decided to show him the way.
Okay.
I decided to show him how to be romantic for myself.
Okay.
Yes, I decided not to be angry again, not to feel bad at what he was doing. So I decided to say, okay, I'm going to show you how to love me now.
Wow.
So I started showing him how to love. So whenever he's angry, I will just put in a joke. I will say, look at your face. Look at the way you're just, you don't know that when you are shouting and when you're doing all this, you don't want to kill yourself for me. So he will just look at me and, you know, he will just pretend that he said. He will just remove his face. So whenever he's angry, I will just look at him and say, look at the way, I don't want to lose you now. The way you are angry and you are shouting, and I don't like it though. So you see him calming down for some time. Saying later, he said, are you not the one that is? I said, what have I done? Just tell me now. So I started going closer, and instead of me being angry at what he was doing, I decided to love him the way he was then. So I decided. So doing that alone started making him also too. He started changing until one day he sat me down. He said, I know what you want. He said, he said, I know what you want. I know the things that you are looking for. He said, but give me some time. I promise I'm going to change.
Wow, wow, that's interesting.
Wow.
And indeed, he kept his promises.
Wow.
He changed after then.
Wow.
He started learning to be. And now he is perfect.
Brother, honestly, I'm congratulating you.
Yes,
I'm sure our viewers are hearing this because most young couples, you may experience such. I want you to know the best formula, or maybe the best way out is not to pack out of the house.
Exactly.
It's not to pack to your parents' house or your relation's house. No. Stay and create a way to make your husband or your wife love you.
Exactly.
You can make him or her love you.
That's right.
And that's what our sister has done. And today, our brother is enjoying that marriage. Our sister is enjoying that marriage. And it's part of what we teach when we're talking about compatibility. We said you need to cultivate your partner.
Yeah.
You need to cultivate your partner. A man can cultivate a woman, and a woman can do same.
That's right.
So please, because it is marriage is the left hand and the right hand. So the relationship must be smooth.
Yeah.
So you need each other.
Yeah.
Our sister did a wonderful thing there, understanding the fact that marriage has no reverse gear. So this is what she has come to live with. So she created a way out. And today, our brother is loving his wife the way he ought to. Brother, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
So, sir, in this your strictness, how often do you use the word I am sorry?
I use it always. I'm not pretending about it because I don't see the word sorry as anything. Okay. It's just, you know, I see that people with pride who don't say I'm sorry. What is it? To tell you I'm sorry. Even you're my wife. I'll tell you I'm sorry. I even say I'm more sorry than she's saying it to me.
That's true.
I do it more than her.
Okay, you do it more than her?
Yes.
Wow.
It doesn't take me anything. It does not take anything. There's nothing there to say I'm sorry. Wow. Because if you want things to work out well, there's nothing there. She knows domestically I don't see anything there. I don't see anything to do anything. Don't like she's always busy in the church. Wow. Monday, like tomorrow Monday we'll be here till Tuesday before I come back. So how will the children cope? I take care of the children.
Wow.
I do that. So it doesn't take anything. Just to provide them, I go to work, the children go to school, I have phone for them, I will call them and talk to them when they return back. So I don't see it, there's nothing there to be annoyed when I know what she's doing. There's not, whatever she's doing, she communicates me. Even when I'm going out from my office to another place, I will call her, I'm going somewhere. So he knows my movement, I know her movement. So there's nothing.
So there's nothing like
there's no secrecy.
Gap.
No. We communicate at all time to feeling. She knows if I call her, she don't pick her, I may think, okay, maybe she's busy. And when she come here, I'm busy. Immediately I say I will call her back. So I try to bridge in the communication so that we don't have problem.
Wow.
So that things work out well. Being strict does not mean wicked.
Exactly.
You know, there's one thing in marriage people don't know. To come together is easy, but to stay together is not easy.
Wow.
Many people think that coming together, very simple, but to stay together is not easy.
That's right.
That is where marriage fails. Because many people look at, is it not to come together? Fine, you come together. But to stay together, because you talk about two different people.
People coming from different
From
backgrounds.
different background. Talk about, like her, she's not my language.
Wow.
You speak another language, I'm from Kwaiwo, she's from Kogi State. So we're a different thing entirely. So it looks difficult, but I'm going to tell you the truth. In all my family, she's the most loved daughter-in-law,
Wow.
both
wow,
within
wow.
and outside the country.
Wow. Wow, that's interesting.
Yes.
So I hope in your spiritual activities,
Yeah.
when you marry her, she has not been able to bring you down, you know, in your spiritual flow. Our host said something. He said that you should marry somebody that will help you in your spiritual flow. Somebody that will not bring you down.
Yes.
Rather, you marry someone that can bring you up. So, what would you say when you marry her, the stage you are, and where you are now?
When I married her, I saw in her some talent.
Okay.
She was not up to where I am, but I was not worried. The first thing that happened to her, that I discovered that she is ready to learn and to move spiritually, was my wife put on trousers. She do anything, a dress, but I did not talk to her for
It did
one.
not affect your spiritual.
I did not talk to her. She decided to change on her own. She dropped those things on her own. I did not talk to her up to today. I did not tell her dress like this, don't dress like this. Even that time, sometimes if I pray in the night, she will say I'm disturbing her. I would not mind her. But she overtakes me.
Wow, 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 wow.
Now she overtakes me. That's why I don't bother. Go ahead, no problem. I will give her. I will not want to hinder her from whatever she wants to do.
That's right.
So instead, she become an encouragement to me, and we moved together.
That's right.
So it doesn't disturb.
That's interesting.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to go on a short break now. When we return, we continue. Please don't go away.
Building a blissful marriage. Shalom. Marriage does not cure lust. If it does, adultery wouldn't exist. Self-control and discipline still remains the best recommendation. Lust does not care of your age or status. Either you are married or single. You can be Daniel in prayer and fasting. You can be David in praise and worship. You can be Abraham in faith. You can be Joshua in victories of war. Or you can be Solomon in wisdom. If you are not Joseph in discipline, you will end up like Samson at the lapse of Delilah. Shalom to the bride of Christ worldwide. I am Brother Godson Dureke. I will be your host on a program, Marriage Matters, only on Bride TV. Join me as we look at issues affecting families and marriages, compatibility in marriages, handling issues of third parties, marital health matters. Let's talk about sex in Christian marriages and many more. Don't miss out on this very inspiring program, which will be a blessing to your marriage. Marriage Matters, building a blissful marriage. Shalom.
All right, you're welcome back to our special edition on Marriage Matters. We have our wonderful couples here, Mr. and Mrs. Ekanem. They are sharing their experiences with us. They have been married for 11 years and they have said so many things. And so I think you have questions for them.
Yes, I want to ask, I know you have children.
Yes.
Yeah, so when you first met, your love was flourishing. When the children came, I want to know, how were you able to handle it, that it did not diminish the love, or maybe take some part of you away from your husband?
I want to say here that it was even when the children started coming that the love itself started growing.
Wow.
Yes.
That's interesting.
When the children started coming.
That's interesting.
Because at times I would be having fun, be playing with the children. So when he comes back from work, he will look at me and say, "Are you not the one playing with these kids now?" Because I will just remove my face. So gradually, because of the children, we started having more time together.
Okay.
Because there is no way we can separate ourselves from the children. So when I'm with the children, when he comes out from work, he will want to stay with us. The children will want to talk, "Daddy, mommy, this." So in short, with the coming of the children, the love issue became more easier for us.
Wow. So you mean the intimacy became stronger when children arrived?
Yes, that's right.
Wow. So sir, tell me, how do you relate with your in-laws? You said you don't involve them whenever you have quarrels or misunderstanding whatsoever. Do you relate with them from a distance or from a close range?
Yeah, well, we are close, because definitely are not in Lagos.
Okay.
But those are in Lagos, we call, even down to when my wife put to bed, I don't involve anybody. I'm only,
you don't involve anybody, of them?
I will be in the hospital until she put to bed.
Wow.
It's only when they put to bed, I will call you and say, "I put to bed," because you're not the midwife, so I don't need to call you in.
Wow, that's true.
So the information you need is I put to bed safely, not she's on labor.
Okay.
So I don't need you when she's on labor.
Okay.
When she put to bed, I will let you know. And that's how I've been doing. Even to be sincere, nobody have been coming for Muko for us. So we stay together and take care of his children.
Wow. Come again, sir. I want you to repeat.
Yes,
nobody comes for Omugo whatsoever.
We take care of that.
This is serious, sir.
Two of us take care of the children. There's nothing that we cannot do. So we take care of that, two of us. So even when my mother-in-law called, "Should I come?" I said, "No need, ma."
Wow.
Because
mother,
no need for you to come. So we take care of that. At least I have 4 children. So for that, for none of them have been coming.
So you mean you're the one doing the Omugo?
There's no big job there.
Cooking the hot, whatever?
Then my mother was a caterer and my elder sister is a caterer, so there's nothing I cannot cook.
Wow, this is interesting.
So make the job easier.
Wow. It's another form of compatibility.
I'm telling you.
So
wow,
before you arrive, I've already finished cooking.
Mm?
So there's nothing for you. What are you going to prepare? Some of them, even our sisters, were afraid of me because of cooking. Because when they come and eat my food, they will call my wife, "So I'm in trouble. What can you cook with this man? He can cook." There's nothing there in cooking. I don't see anything.
So when she puts to bed, you handle everything?
I handle everything. Right from the hospital. Even
the pressing of hot water.
There's nothing there. We'll take her to the bathroom and do the job.
Very lovely.
Very lovely. We have a caller from Abuja, sorry. Brother Paul, good evening and welcome to the program. Good evening and welcome to the program. Brother Paul.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, we can hear you, sir. Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead. Hello? Try network. Sorry, we lost that call.
Yes.
Wow, this is interesting.
Well, brother,
Yes.
you are truly a romantic husband.
A romantic husband indeed. What are you telling me? 4 kids?
4 kids.
4 omugwos.
You are the best sister.
In fact, the
That's
best
wonderful.
husband so far.
That's wonderful.
Wow.
So I want to ask a very important question. I want to go to a very controversial area
Yeah.
in marriage.
Yes.
How is your sex life?
Very good.
Okay, because why I ask this question is, a friend told me this story. A brother got married, and after getting married, him and the sister he got married to, they were looking at each other.
Because of the spirituality.
Yes,
the brother is
because
too
of
spiritual.
over spirituality.
Yes.
The brother does not know the left, the sister does not know the right, and they were looking at each other. And I discover this event is still happening in
Yes.
many marriages.
Exactly.
They had to, it was their pastor who came and saw the brother, went to bathe, wore all his clothes and went to bathe. And it was in the bedroom, he removed his clothes. When he finished bathing, he applied the cream in the bedroom and came back well dressed. So the pastor asked him, why are you not using the room? He said, no, his wife is there. The man said, what is wrong with that? Does it mean you have not been fellowshipping together? And the brother said, no, we have not fellowshipped. So I really want you to throw light towards this area. How do you begin? Because a lot of people are still yet to start.
Exactly.
Yeah, in that aspect, even up till now, we bed together in the bedroom. And even we are in the bedroom, there's nothing like, it's some people understanding is different. That's why like some of us, maybe some people come from like deeper life, that holiness.
Yes.
But when we are married, it's different. It's a different ballgame.
Exactly.
So to me and my wife, we bed together even up till now. So I don't see it. It's my wife.
Okay,
Yes.
so who starts the fellowship? Who always starts it?
I definitely, if I'm sometimes, I prefer sometimes she.
Okay.
Okay, so it is both parties.
It's both parties.
Wonderful.
And even if she want to undress, even I'm inside the room, she doesn't, while we're there, it doesn't hide anything. I even myself. So it's nothing like to have to face the wall when somebody is inside, only 2 of us. So we don't do that.
Okay, so brother, I ask you another question. In that area, because this is a very controversial area, especially in
Okay,
the
Brother
Christian
Paul
world.
is back, sorry.
All right.
Brother Paul. Good evening, Brother Paul. Hello. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the program.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Go ahead with your question.
Okay, I have a contribution.
Okay, go ahead.
I am a member of this marriage matter. Listen to the matter every time. It's really interesting my role.
Thank you.
Every part of me.
Wow.
It's not the practical now. I really know that's the thing that is very important. And it's what I see everything. He said it as it is.
Thank you. Thank you.
so much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, God bless you. Yeah.
So like I was saying, we had cases where some brothers will be giving excuse. Say, you know, there is hold up on the way today, so much traffic. When the wife beckons on him, let's have a fellowship, the man come with excuses. You know, even some sisters also come with excuses. Some brother will say, now I'm fasting, you know. Have you ever experienced this before?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. On my own part, I always try to make sure that I satisfy her.
Okay.
I know when some women, I know when she is tired or self-fatigued, maybe because of going out or one thing, I know.
Yeah.
Or when she is down, I understand. So one thing is to sit down and understand her body frame when she's not feeling fine.
Okay.
On my own part, I do my best to make sure that I satisfy her.
Okay.
That's what I do because I know how she will feel. In the early stage, like in the early stage of marriage, when we married first year, I did not normally give her much attention. I must tell you the truth. I did not
You're still studying her?
Yeah, I was still studying her. Even though she will come and she will cry, we ignore it. I know that's what I said. I do not want to show her that I love her so much.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what was in her mind, but I was still.
Exactly.
But when I get attention, even to the point that there was a time when he gave to my first child, if I want to go, I would go out with my child. My wife would sit down and be crying that I would take her daughter away from her. But I said, no, it's not like that. So I give her attention. Sometimes we are human. Sometimes we have the ups and downs. But we try to balance it and understand ourselves.
Okay. Okay, you said something earlier that your in-laws, you don't involve them in anything.
No.
So how do you feel when you notice that maybe your wife sends money to her mother or to her siblings? Does she tell you or does she do it behind you?
Definitely, there's nothing she do behind me.
Okay.
As she's sitting there, she knows my salary. You know when my alert's coming.
That's interesting.
I don't hide it from her.
Wow.
She knows when I have money and when I don't have money. Because if I hide it from her, you know, like what you were saying, too demanding. Yeah. When you hide your salary from a woman, you're making to demand too much, thinking that there is money there. Wow. So when he opens and you know that, come on, there is no money. When I get the money, say, come on, this month, this is what I'm giving you for your kitchen, and this one is left over. And this is the plan I'm having at hand. So when it's finished, you know it's finished. So where are you going to make the man from? I'm not an armed robber. So I make it open. And you know when I have an extra money from somewhere, sometimes if my brother wants to dash me, I say, send it to her account.
Wow.
She will send it to her account. She call me, say, brother, send the money. I say, yes. And the woman says, you send it. Okay, from that money, take this and use for this. And she, even if you give her money, she will brought it back to me. You bring the money to me and say, this money, somebody dashed me. Take it and hold it for me. I will just hold it. And I always say, okay, take it back. Use it for what you want to use it for. So there's nothing that we hide from. Even want to send money, it's open.
Wow.
We discuss that because if you do that by the back, it looks funny.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. We have discussed and we take it up together.
Wow, that's interesting.
Wow.
Can you confirm that?
Yes. To even add more to what he has said, the money aspect, I can't remember when last I sent money by myself to my parents. All I have to do, I will just tell him. My dad called me today. I think he's in need of. He will just tell me no problem. He will just send the money to them. They will only call me or call him. Just help me appreciate your husband. Sometimes I will not even know. I can't remember. Even if I have the money with me, I will give it to him. Please help me send this money to Mama. Or send this money. So.
That's a wonderful one, and it's part of our teachings here. Viewers, I know you are following. We didn't discuss this. They've been living like this, and in fact, they are living as if they are the students of marriage matters.
Exactly.
And that's what we're saying. You want a peaceful home, then you have to take the things we say here very serious. Because There are things a man will do, you'll be causing problem in your marriage.
That's right.
And just like he mentioned it, his salary, his wife is aware. Please, let your wife know what you have. A lot of men want to hide away from their wives. If you're hiding things away from your wife, then you are not among those who should enjoy the portion of the scripture in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4, where the Bible talks about love is patient, love is enduring, and all that, and all that. So, because he loves his wife knows all he had. And in this program, we've said it severally, and we will continue to emphasize on it, that let your wife know what you have. Many dormant accounts in the bank today, the owners are dead, but their families are not aware that they have such money. Some of the families are in penury. Meanwhile, the husband or the wife has millions in account. And some of those bank rats are picking it gradually.
Right.
So brother, sister, please be open to your relationship. Be open to your marriage. Let your partner know what you are doing. Thank you very much.
All right, so, sir, you're going to tell the viewers a word of advice, because many are watching you now. So what do you have to say?
Yes, my viewers, what I have to say is, as I said before, it is easy to come together, but not easy to stay together. To stay together, you need to be patient. You need to show love. And above all, acknowledge God in everything you are doing.
That's right.
Then He will guide your path. Thank you.
All right, sister. What do you have to say to them, the women that are watching you now?
I want to thank God really for the journey so far.
Yeah.
Of 11 years, it has not been easy. A woman told me once, some years back, she said that men are roofs, they are just the roof. That we women, we are the building. Exactly. We are the kitchen, we are the toilet, we are everywhere. So when she told me that, I reasoned without words and I said, it's true. They are the head of the family indeed, but we women, we are the one that will put things in place. I used to tell some women around me that, to me, I think women are the ones that should hold the home and make their marriages work. If I should say, women should contribute about 70% in taking care of the home, making the marriage to work, endurance. Don't jump into conclusions. At the end of the day, I will say this, that when you know how to handle a man very well, the man will later become your baby. That is why some men, you see some women calling their husbands baby, and you see the man answering.
Yeah.
When you know how to, when you can calm down in your home and take decisions that are right, you will be on top of the home. You will be the manager. You will not even know when you take over and you are doing almost everything. The man will not, will always come back to you. And I want to tell women that we have a very important role in marriages to play.
That's right.
Because your husband will sometimes depend on you for advice. Likewise, your children, as they are growing, they will come back to you, Mom, I want to do this. Your husband will come to you, honey, I want to do this. So you have to get connected, both physically and spiritually, in order not to lead your family astray. You know, there are women that give all they know how to do is to, misinform their husbands. Feel them, no, sister this is bad, sister that is not good. That is all they know. And when you are doing that, you are bringing the man down. That's right. Always make him happy. Tell him things that will keep him going.
That's right.
There are some issues that come to the family that I try personally to manage. It's not keeping of secrets. Yeah. There are some issues from extended families, or there are issues financially that I will manage for some time to relieve him of some stress before, maybe later, after some time, I will just say, honey, look at this or look at that, but I have done this, I have done that. Wow. Sometimes we say, why didn't you tell me? I said, I don't want you to overreact at that moment. Then before you know, the issue is already a settled matter. That's right. Even my in-laws, you know how to relate with them, because you can't get 100% good in-laws. There are, in all the families, there are some people that are good, there are some people that are also rough. So you must learn how to manage these people. Manage the good ones and also manage the bad ones, so that there will be peace. So when you are hurting the in-laws, you are also hurting your husband. So when you are doing some certain things, you should be very careful, so that you won't fail your children and also fail your husband. Wow. So that's what I have.
Thank you so much. So, sir, what's the last word to the viewers?
Please, I'd like you to understand that marriage is for peace. Like we say, the man is the television and the wife is the remote. Yes. And when you enter a home, the first thing you see is the television. In most cases, you are looking for the remote. But I like you to know that the remote controls the television. So, sister, if you are patient in that marriage, you will take over that marriage and things will work perfectly well. Because every woman owns the home. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. We have come to the end of the program. Our guest said, men are the roof, while women are the builder. While our host said that women are the remotes and the men are the television. Where you press them, where you control them, is where they move to. So let us try to build our home and become home builders. God bless you. Thank you for staying with us. Join us same station, same time next week, 5 p.m. only on Bright TV, the timely technology. But don't forget tomorrow, 7 p.m., question and answer with our Pastor Moses Alu. So whatever question you may have, send it and he will answer you. Thank you and God bless you. Shalom.
No demon, no infirmity, no frustration, no pain that follow you here. We follow you home in the name of Jesus Christ.
But ye are come unto Mount Zion, unto the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to the blood of sprinkling that speaketh better things than that of Abel.
Somebody receive your healing and deliverance by fire. Holy Ghost!
Is your family oppressed or depressed, frustrated or stagnated? Is your family under demonic siege or attack of the enemy? Cry no more, for here comes the solution as you join us for this annual liberation program, Family Deliverance 2021. No more bondage. No more bondage. Live at the Bride Assembly Lagos Church, the Lighthouse, Endeavor Close, Amodofi Park Estate, Ijesha Bus Stop off Oshodi.